Hello, everybody. I am so glad that you are here today. And I know we have an incredible special guest coming with us live today. And the most incredible human being, soul master coach. So I'm so excited to welcome him. And there he is. That was fast, like lightning speed.
Okay, I'll cut off. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel like we have to move it back a little bit so
Okay.
everybody
I'll
can
get the
see.
camera here. Yeah. All right.
Amazing. Oh, hello, Jordan. Hello, everybody joining us live right now. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you all. Dr. Linda as well, Sarah, so many of you. I really appreciate you all being here. And I am Jasmine Mancha. If you don't know me yet, I am a success mentor for female entrepreneurs, and I help them attract their soulmate clients, stopping the chasing, the Pamela Anderson cold DM approach of the network marketing and marketing situation that's going on right now. We are here today and we want to support you in attracting more wealth, abundance, and also health into your life. So I can't wait to share a bit more about, who I'm here with today, because I'm so grateful that he has taken the time. And so far, we want to really just make sure you stay live, because you're in for a treat. Don't miss this. Close everything that you're doing right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss this opportunity. So my dear friend and incredible soul master coach, would you mind just quickly giving us a quick intro in case somebody has not crossed paths with you just yet?
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Jasmine, for having me. I think this is the second time we're here. And can you hear me all right? Good?
We can hear you perfectly this time.
Okay, all right. So basically, I specialize in energy. And it's called pranic healing, Pranic. Just imagine panic with an R in it. So it's called pranic healing. It's ancient science and art of healing, where we use energy. Chinese call it chi, Japanese call it ki, in India we call it prana. So what people don't realize, this prana, this life force, is everywhere. It is, when you inhale, you're not just inhaling air, you're inhaling this air plus this invisible life force. And our thoughts, our emotions are also made of that energy. And since you're talking about health, wealth, relationships, what people don't realize is this energy affects every part of your life. So when you say someone is very successful, what makes them successful? Is there something in them that makes them different from someone who's not successful? In a relationship, how come sometimes people have good chemistry? Sometimes they don't. It has to do with what kind of energy that's going, that invisible something. And a lot of you who are very sensitive, you kind of look at someone, you go, yeah, I like that person. Oh, I don't like that person. And you can't really find anything tangible. You just know it. And what's happening is you're sensing the movement of this invisible life force. With finances, same thing. How come some people, they can make all those affirmations in the world, but they're not successful? And you have somebody who's kind of negative, but somehow they have good luck. There must be that invisible something. And I'm sharing this with you because a lot of people don't understand that what you don't see most likely affect you the most. And prana, or life force, is actually the fabric of the universe that we're trying to harness so that we have that invisible edge, if you will, to be more successful compared to everyone else. So I hope that gives you a little, like, a background.
100%. I think it's really important to talk about this, because I know some people, they can seem so negative and really feel like they have everything. And some people have all the success in the world, but actually, we sometimes think like, oh my God, we don't deserve to be successful. We have to, be more humble. But then, there's some people who are rich in money, but they actually aren't that good of a person anyways. So success really doesn't depend on you being a better person, unfortunately, and attract money, but it's actually something to do with energy. So I really feel like, letting go of this feeling of I don't deserve this. And I'm just gonna take this filter off because it just looks a bit, this is much better.
Okay.
So this is also like the fakeness, the filter we put on life, right? It's important to remove that. And yeah, I mean, I would really love to hear about your opinion, or, any kind of tips you could give our audience if right now they feel like they're attracting, you know, all these like negatives, or they can't attract clients, or they can't attract wealth or health or anything, and they're stuck in this cycle of negative attraction.
All right, so let's make it more practical, because I always believe that whatever principles and whatever techniques you learn, if you can't use it, it's useless. I mean, everybody can read books. The question is, can you use it in your life? So when you talk about energy, most people talk about, oh, today I have energy, tomorrow I don't have energy. It's almost like a metaphor, but they don't realize that it is something that it's tangible in your life. And let's start there. I want you to have all of you rub your hands together. Just make it experiential. Now press the center of your palm. Do you have an energy center here, like an acupuncture point? You press with your thumb. This is to stimulate it. Now the reason I have you move your hand like this, you know, in acupuncture theory, they say blood follows energy, energy follows blood. So as you increase your blood flow, it also increases the flow of this so-called energy. Now let's make it more tangible. I want you to shake your hand. I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can just move the camera here, because all right, you can still hear me, yes?
Yes, perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Open your palms. Keep your tongue in your palate. Just open your armpit a little bit, allow better energy flow. Now close your eyes. Now just imagine light is flowing down your hands. I want you to inhale that light. Inhale it all the way up to your elbows, to your shoulders, and exhale it back out of your hands. 1. Again, be aware of your hands. Inhale that light and exhale it out. One more time. Inhale it in and exhale it out. All right, that's about 3 times. Now I want you to go like this. I'm curious, how many of you could feel some sensation in your hands? Like
I
a something.
definitely can. Definitely, right? I feel, yeah, the energy going through it for sure.
Okay, now let me just move this so I can move back a little bit. Now, have your hands face each other. Again, the purpose of armpit open is just to allow better energy flow, okay? Now keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, because you have an energy channel in the front of your body, in the back of your body. It's all interconnected. The only break is your mouth. So connecting your tongue allows energy flow. So if you're doing yoga, you're doing meditation, you're not talking to anyone, keeping your tongue in your palate actually increases your energy, okay? So put your hand like this. Now, gently separate your hands. Imagine there's a cloud in between. Compress that cloud, maybe 10, 20%. Release it. Compress that cloud. Release it. Try it with your eyes closed, so your mind's not like, oh, it's supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that. Okay, just gently compress and release. One more. Compress and release. Now, keep one palm open, just one finger like this. Now, without touching, maybe at least 1 foot or further away, just imagine you have a laser beam of light coming out of this finger, aim it at your palm, and just rotate it. And then the other way. Okay? Let's try the other finger. And the other way. All right. Okay, shake your hands. Now, I want to know how many of you could feel some sensation in either hand. So that way I know where you're at, because you have different levels of sensitivity. Some people are more sensitive, so they feel stuff right away. Some people, you could slap in the head, they still don't feel it. So we just have to kind of see the range here.
And if you're in the audience right now and you've never experienced like this before, just give it a try. You know, what do you have to lose? I mean, we do crazy things all the time, so you might as well just join and see how it works for you. And you might be surprised, because, you know, it's a really beautiful opening and opportunity right now. And we're getting a lot of, I feel it, yes, 100%. Yes, I could feel the circles on the opposite hand, absolutely. Yes, incredible. Yeah, so it really is powerful.
So that's the first step. That's just to kind of make it real for you, because a lot of people, they say, oh yeah, you know, some people have more energy, but it's almost like an idea. They don't realize it is that tangible. Now we'll take it many steps further, because this will let you realize how powerful your thoughts are, how powerful your emotions are, and how they actually influence your physical world. So the next step is try to understand, what were you feeling? You're feeling this universal life force. All you did with your hands were just to focus it enough that you can sense it. And when you use the finger, it's even more concentrated. That's why you notice that oftentimes you talk to people and you're pointing at them, they say, hey, that's not polite. Why do you point at people? because they don't realize when you point like this, energy shoots out of your hand. In fact, a lot of you have experienced, you're standing here and suddenly you look this way and you notice somebody staring at you, because also energy comes out of your eyes. It's just that at this point in time, science does not have an actual instrument to register it yet. But most people, they say, yeah, I look at one person, I can feel this, but there's no way you can register it. But here's the interesting part. This so-called thing you're feeling could be a combination of their thoughts, their emotions. It could be the energy emanation coming off their body. Now, when it comes to us, what people don't understand is every thought, every emotion that we generate is made of this substance. To make it more real for you, Jasmine, if you don't mind, I'll just let them feel it.
Please,
is that okay?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, rub your hands together again. Okay, go like this. Again, just increase energy flow. Okay, now open your palms this way. All right, it should feel the same. Now put one hand down. Doesn't matter which hand. Now on one hand, I want you to imagine a red apple. Just imagine a red apple sitting on your hand as clearly as you can. All right, good enough. Raise the other hand. Compare. All right, that's just the first time. Okay, put that same hand down. You have your visualize your apple here. I want you to verbally say to your hand apple 5 times. Go. Apple, 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 apple. Okay, easy enough, right? Raise your other hand again. This is your control. Make an experiment, you have to have a control. Now compare it. Anybody notice that this is gaining a little bit of something? Now, here's the important part. Watch. Put your hand like this. Now compare.
It's crazy. And the one thing I learned from you as well is disintegrate. Whenever I have like negative energy, or I can feel, you're standing in a line and that person in front of you has obviously had a very tough situation, very big day, like a lot of tension, and I'm like, that's their energy mentally. I'm sending them back their energy. I really learned this from you the first time, because I'm an empath. I'm like a little sponge, I'll take everyone's energy and I'll keep it, and I'll feel it, but it's really important to protect ourselves from it. So super powerful.
Yeah, that's the idea. Once you understand, you know how to protect yourself from it. Now, what we did there is what you call creating a thought form. So your thought, every time you think of something, your energy field creates almost like a hologram. That's why some of you, if you're sensitive, you almost see light around people's heads. Or you're standing out, looking out the window, and when you're so relaxed, you see little bubbles floating around. And the minute you focus on them, they disappear. That's because there's a certain light frequency that is not seen by your physical eyes, but you can sense it. Now, first thing we did is you create a thought form. Apple is just neutral. Now, here's the most important part. You do realize that at that point, when I said go like this, I didn't tell you what to do it. All you did was kind of like you're brushing things off. You, as you said, Jasmine, you disintegrated. So energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can be transformed. You disintegrate, as in you dismantled it. Now let's take it one step further. Okay, shake your hands again.
May I just 1 second?
Yeah.
Everybody really listen to that. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just is. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just really want to make sure everybody really gets that point. Energy is here whether we like it or not. We might as well form it to our preference. So please, sorry, go ahead. I just want to make sure everybody gets that really, really important point, because it took me a while when I first met you to really understand the process behind it.
Yeah, and also sometimes my accent, my Chinese accent, they don't understand. So good you translated.
It's not. It's okay.
All right. Now you'd be surprised. People say, hey, you talk too fast. I didn't know what you said. All right. Put your hand like this. All right. By the way, before we do this, there's a saying you cannot unhear something. Like when a bell rings, you cannot say, I didn't hear it, right? So what I'm going to share with you, just want to warn you, it might cause you to change. So you cannot unhear it. So watch. Put your hand like this. All right. It feels about the same, right? Now hold one hand up. Look at that palm. Just look at it. Stare at your hand. And I want you to recall something that irritates you. Hopefully it's not me. Huh? Just look at your hand. Just think of something that irritates you and just play it like a movie on your palm. Or just think about it and just look at your hand. Keep going. Okay, good enough. Look at the other hand. Same process, but this time, imagine someone you love as you're looking at your hand. Recall the happy thoughts, the wonderful, loving feelings you have for that person. I want you to feel it and in your mind see it as you focus on your palms. We'll give it about the same time. All right, that's about the same time. I want you to compare. How does that feel? Is there a difference between sensations of stressed out, angry, pissed off, compared to love?
100%.
I think even if you're numb, you'll feel something. Now, here's the most important lesson. Watch. Go like this. Say disintegrate.
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 One more time. Disintegrate.
Disintegrate.
Now compare. Feels the same. Now, why is that important to know? You see, the biggest excuse most people make is, oh, I can't help it. Oh, these negative thoughts come in. People piss me off or whatever. They don't realize these thoughts and these emotions are fully fabricated by you. Just as easily you can think of good thoughts, you can think of bad thoughts. Just as easily you can create them, you can disintegrate them. So no one really can make you angry unless at the last microsecond you responded as such. So this energy is actually within your control. It's just that most people think, oh, I'm a puppet to my circumstance, I'm a puppet to all these things. They don't realize that when all is said and done, if you step back, every thought, every emotion, every response we have is something we create.
Yes, 100%. This is why we need to cut the excuses. I mean, everybody goes through so many tough situations, I'm sure, and especially right now in the world, there's so many things. If we decide to focus on the positive will expand, the health, the wealth, whatever it is you desire to attract and manifest in your life. It is in your power to create more of it. So this is a really big exercise. I'm sure all our viewers right now can really anchor this in right now in this moment. And the next time you feel stressed or you feel like something is not going your way and your inner child is like, why is this happening? I didn't create it. Think again and think about Master Ko and myself explaining this to you right now, because I think it's really important to understand that you can do this. I do this all the time, and I'm like, I'm giving you back your feelings. You know, if there's a stressful situation, I'm like, these are not my feelings, I'm giving them back to you, and disintegrate, and that's it. You know, it actually works. Trust me, it really does work. Test it, right? You have nothing to lose.
Now, the nice thing about this, Jasmine, is I'm sure your audience are overachievers. So we'll take it many steps higher, because some of you might be saying, oh, that's good and nice, so that means I have to be more positive. But it's so much effort. Well, guess what? There's a shortcut. And the key here is what my spiritual teacher says. By the way, for some of you who are new, I belong to an organization that teaches pranic healing. And that's a worldwide organization, UK, Germany, many places. Just look at it, PRANIC. It's a worldwide organization. My teacher is Grandmaster Twahok Sui, who I learned from, 1988. Okay, so here's my point. He said, big fish eat small fish. And that's one of the reasons why some of you have been doing affirmations, writing your goals down, and nothing's happening. This is why. Because think about it. If you sit here right now and say, oh, I'm going to be positive, I'm going to do this, you know, you make your goals, the amount of time you spent on that is, let's say, I just say 20 minutes. Now think of the negative thoughts and emotions that we've created in the last 20, 30 years that's still hanging and sitting in your energy field. So right now you're focusing on this positive stuff, but the subconscious stuff you've created, the negative stuff people have dumped on you, like sometimes your family members will tell you, oh, you never amount to anything, you failed something, you'll never, those little things add up. And so what happens, it sits there like a ginormous whale. When you have this positive thought here, when you're not focusing on it, it's gobbled up. So that is one thing why some of you, and I can say this 1 billion%, a lot of you say, I want to be successful. So things are taking off, and then at some point, when you reach a certain level of success, something clicks in your mind, and the stuff you're saying earlier, Jasmine, is like, oh, I don't deserve this, or maybe I don't have the skill, maybe I just got lucky, or maybe, you know, if I become too rich, maybe I won't be a good person. All those stupid things start coming to the surface because there were seeds that were planted in your energy field. So in order to get rid of those, your affirmations, your New Year's resolution, whatever stuff you're trying to do, have to be big enough to get rid of those guys. Make sense? So you have to take it from, you have to attack it on both sides. One, yes, you be more positive. Number two, you have to take the time to keep chipping away and breaking up these old thoughts and emotions. Otherwise, this stuff won't last. I mean, just talk to anybody who's make a New Year's resolution in January. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna work out. I've talked to a lot of trainers. Oh yeah, man, people come into the gym on January, then February, then March, and it just goes like this because they lose steam, because the old programming takes over. However, if you look at people that realize, okay, I do realize I have old programming, either from parents, from friends, or whatever stuff people have been dumping on me, if I get rid of that simultaneously, I charge up what I want, I'm hitting at both sides. So instead of waiting for this to get rid of and then be more positive, or being super positive with thoughts and emotions and then get rid, let's do it simultaneously. And the way to do it is as simple as this. We'll do it before, during, and after. Okay? So let's start with during, because that's something that's in your face right away. So every time you think of a negative thought, like you were saying, Jasmine, you disintegrate, but we'll add one more piece to it. You imagine your hand is filled with violet light. So the color violet, I know a lot of you know this, is a spiritual color. What exactly does it mean to be a spiritual color? You see, these different colors have different properties. If any of you are Roman Catholic, you will notice that there's this sacrament called confession, where you go in a little box and emotionally vomit on your priest. Okay, that's called confession. You sit there, bless me, Father, I've sinned, and you sit there and go like that. And you think about it, if you ever sat in front of anybody emotionally vomit on you, you feel terrible. Well, what's happening to that guy? But you notice he's always wearing a purple scarf around his neck. So in every tradition, I'm talking about Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, who am I missing? Pretty much every spiritual tradition, when they're doing their deeper spiritual practice or meditation, you always see them wearing something around their neck. That's not just for decoration. It's basically, if they know what they're doing, it's supposed to carry a certain frequency. So it just so happened in the Catholic tradition, they kind of broke it down. Baptism is white, confession is purple, and so on and so on. Now, the color purple or violet is the same color that is generated when you're in deep meditation or prayer. That's the waterfall of light coming down your head. So as he puts on that purple scarf around his neck, his entire energy field is filled with violet light. So no matter how much you dump on the guy, the violet light breaks it down. Now, some of you will say, that sounds familiar, because I noticed that sometimes when I'm in meditation, I see violet light. That's because your crown center generates it. So what we're going to do is, since we understand the property of that color, we're not going to use that property to break up this negative energy. Just like it broke up the negative energy that's coming towards the priest. Same thing when you're meditating. When in deep meditation, a lot of you go like this. And you go deeper. When you go like that, that means the violet light hits your solar plexus, and your solar plexus went like that. Make sense? So we're going to harness this energy now. So every time you have a negative thought, you just imagine your hand filled with this brilliant violet light, and you just go erase, disintegrate. Literally like erasing a board, and visualize the violet light breaking it up. Now, this is good and nice in theory until you practice it. So I'm going to have you practice it right now. I want you to think of a negative thought, not something huge, just something we can do within a few seconds. Okay, think of something that bothers you. Okay, I want you to assess, how much it's affecting you. Is it making you angry? Is it heavy? Whatever. Just get an idea. From 0 to 10, how bad is this negative thought? Give it a number, because there's no way we can, measure it. Okay, you got a number, right? Here's what you're gonna do.
Put the
imagine.
number in the comments. Sorry.
Okay, go.
Put the number in the comments. Let's do this together. Let's engage this. Even if you're watching the replay, you want to engage because we're action takers. And if you actually want the results and you want the health, the wealth, and whatever it is, you have to take action. And not only when it's convenient, but in this moment right now. Master Co is so kind to guide us through this. So please make sure you put it there, not only for us, but also for yourself, because then you can anchor it in and you can measure it. So whenever he's saying something, please just feel free to do it. The chat is yours. We're a family. We're here to support each other. Thank you for all your numbers. Amazing. Let's get them coming in. We're more than 200 incredible humans. So we can definitely take action. Even if you're one of those people who never comments, now is your chance to also participate, because especially in this moment, we're speaking to you too. So thank you so much for all your numbers. I love it. Maybe if it's under 3, maybe you could choose a better thought, so you could maybe see a different experience. What do you suggest, Master Co? Because I got a couple of ones. Doesn't matter?
Anything they want to get rid of. Some people say nothing. Hopefully you're not in denial.
Yeah. So try to find something that you want to release, because this is a great opportunity to release all your BS. Belief system, right? I don't know what you thought, but the BS, the belief systems that are not serving you as well. So yes, amazing. Thank you, everybody. Okay, let's continue. I have mine. Mine is number 5.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons I love it that Jasmine, you did that, because it makes you accountable. Because when you typed it in, you go, you cannot no, that's not what I meant. So by putting something there, you have something to work with. Okay, that's good. Now, the key here is to identify. You cannot identify, you cannot do anything about it, right? Like, it's just like somebody says, what do you want in your life? I want to be happy. What does that mean? Exactly. So same thing. What do you want to get rid of? Something not good. What does that mean? So as we identify it, it starts to become more, how to call it?
Tangible.
As you define it, you can manage it. Okay, good enough. You guys ready? Here's what you're going to do. Imagine it's a gray cloud. Imagine in front of you, there's a gray cloud. And just with your intention, that gray cloud is all that negative stuff that you were thinking of and feeling a few seconds ago. Okay? Put it in that cloud, or that cloud represents it. Just do one thing at a time. I know some of you have a lot of crap to get rid of. Let's do one. Let's make it more focused. Okay, you guys ready? All right, stop typing. Just visualize that gray cloud. Just know that that's all the negative thoughts, negative emotions connected to that. Now open your eyes. Go like this. Use your dominant hand. Point to that gray cloud. Say, these thoughts, these emotions are not I. I created them, but they're not me. They have no power over me.
They have no power over me.
These are not the I.
These are not the I.
Okay, imagine your hands filled with violet light, both of them. Now go like this. Say, disintegrate, erase, erase, disintegrate. Just like imagine wiping that cloud out of existence. Erase, erase, disintegrate, erase, disintegrate. Again, visualize violet light, erase, completely disintegrate these negative thoughts, negative energy. These are not the I. Now here's the critical part. Look at me. Go like this. Cut, disconnect from me. Again, cut, disconnect from me permanently. All right, that's once. We have to do this minimum 3 times. Visualize the gray cloud again. All right, now I want you to recall whatever stuff you want to get rid of. I know some of you go, I kind of don't remember. Force yourself. I'll explain all this to you. Put it in the cloud. Imagine that cloud represents whatever remnant of that negative thoughts, negative emotions you pick. Don't pick another one. Be focused. Okay, ready? Okay, raise your dominant hand. It has to be your dominant hand. Okay, go like this. These thoughts, just point to the cloud. These thoughts, these emotions are not the I. I acknowledge I created them, but they're not me. They don't define me. They have no power over me. So be it. Now visualize your violet light. Make your hands like it's so bright you can barely see your hands. Now go like this. Erase, disintegrate, completely. Erase, disintegrate, erase, disintegrate. Now go like this. Cut, disconnect.
Disconnect.
Okay, one more time. Visualize the gray cloud. And whatever stuff is left, dump it in there. Okay? Any feeling, any thoughts, whatever, just dump it in the cloud. It's all in that gray cloud. Now raise your dominant hand. By the way, you notice I'm going fast, right? So do not give you time to think. Okay, ready? Look at that gray cloud. Say, these thoughts, these emotions are not the I. These are not me. They have no power over me. So be it. Visualize your violet light, make it super bright. Say, erase, 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 completely disintegrate. Disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate. Cut, cut, disconnect, and cut. Okay. All right. Even a kid could do that. So here's my question to you. Be completely honest. How does that feel to you now? You're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you. So you don't have to please me. Be honest. How's the emotional bite? How's the memory? Go ahead and type it in. You remember what you typed earlier. How does it compare now?
And don't worry if it wasn't a more significant number, because remember, we're trying to erase stuff that you have probably been carrying with you for a long time. So it's better to be really honest and measure yourself, because you can always do this again and again and again. I remember for me, at first it was 5, the first one, because I'm obviously in a good state. Maybe if I wasn't in such a good state, it probably would be 10, because I'm already irritated. So depending on whatever state you're in right now, it's probably going to be a different number. And then mine, at first I was like, oh, maybe it's a 3 or 2. But then I thought about it. And I was like, actually, it's only a 1. I still am aware of it, but I no longer let that define me, because it's no longer the I, right? So make sure you put in the number that you feel right now about the thought that you just had and you wanted to get rid of. And be really honest with yourself with it. I feel free from it. We're getting so many great comments. Blanken feels much better. So it's really important to put a number, because then you can measure it, right? As we know, what gets measured gets improved. We have that in, right? So making sure that we know that as well. Take a huge breath. Amazing. Yes, probably a lot of energy is moving through you right now. I could feel so much energy going through it. And if you didn't do this, hopefully we can send you the replay. Maybe you were too shy to do it. I remember if you would have told me this like 5 or 10 years ago, I would have been like, what the hell is this? And now I'm like, the biggest fan and doing it all. And I'm like, front row at any kind of event that I go to, and I like go all in, because why not? You want the results, so just show up, right? And you'll be grateful that you did, because you'll get the rewards and the changes as well. So yeah, a lot of great changes.
Now, here's the important thing to remember. It's not as much the number that changed, but it's the certainty that you have control over it. That's the most important part. Because, people say, oh, mine went from 10 to 0 or 10 to 3 or whatever. Those things are good so you can measure it. But behind all of it is the fact that I am the captain of my ship. It's like, oftentimes people say, oh, I can't help it. There's no such thing. Because even when, just to give you an example, let's say you're stressed out of your mind, things are exploding, and then somebody super important showed up at the door. What do? Fix yourself up, open the door. Somebody asks you, how you doing? You go, oh, I'm fine. It proves to you, given enough of a motivation, if someone put a gun on your head, you can be happy. Because any feelings, good or bad, positive or negative, are all created by you, the spiritual self, the invisible someone who's moving your body, who's creating these feelings and thoughts. And that's always the lesson we always tell people, because people always say, yeah, I'm not into spiritual stuff, I'm not into religion, whatever. You don't have to be. It's obvious. Because if I ask you, move your arm, what did you do? I moved my arm. Who moved it? I did. Okay, so obviously you're not the body, because the mover and what's being moved are different. If I move this cup, if the cup disappears, I don't disappear with it. Same thing with the feelings. If I say, okay, be happy. You go, oh, I'm happy. All right. You just prove that you're not the happiness, you're not that feeling. Because before I asked you to do it, you already existed. When you created that feeling, it's something that came after you. Same thing with your thoughts. So if you back up and say, wait, that means I can move my body any way I want. I can choose what emotions I create. I can choose what thoughts I create. You know what you're just doing? You're just doing? You are going back to your center. See, a lot of people say, oh, go center yourself. If you ask them, what does that mean? Most people have no clue. They say, oh, center means I'm just here. Doesn't make any sense. Being centered in the real sense means you get to realize. The word realization is a combination of two words, real and action. Realization means for you, there's such certainty it's real, you take action without any doubt. So once you realize that you are the center, in other words, you can back up and say, the body wanting to eat this, not eat that, want to exercise or be a lazy ass, not do anything, create these feelings of happiness, joy, or anger, thoughts of these. All of these are something, if I back up, I created these. So I'm going back to my center to realize I am the center of my world and my universe. That's your real power. Without that, guess what? You're a puppet to everything around you. And when you say meditation, spiritual practice, which I'm leading to is, meditation is not just, okay, I'll be quiet because, I'm stressed out of my mind, or I'll chant something, whatever. All those are just pathways to realizing your center, that, oh, this is the I. And once you have that realization, you start noticing stuff. You start noticing, oh, I notice when I talk to this person, I start creating feelings of anxiety. When I look at this, it creates thoughts of joy and happiness. So once you start to realize it, then you go, oh, this person pisses me off, but in reality, I have the choice. So next time you go, oh, I'm going to meet this person. I know they're going to trigger, they're going to push my buttons. So since I know that, next time I see them, I'll choose love and joy, and that's what we're going to project to them. And it completely changes everything because now you're in control. What people don't realize when they say in control, they think, oh, that means you're manipulating people. No, being in control is knowing who you are, and by controlling your body, your emotions, and your thoughts, as Tony says, your state, you get to affect the people around you. So it all starts with what? The I. So if you're successful, you're not successful, people who are successful must be doing something subconscious. The I must be, driving that car a certain way that goes towards success. People who are not successful, they must be consciously, subconsciously creating certain thoughts and emotions or the effect of the past. That's kind of the inertia that's pushing their vehicle a certain direction. But when you stop everything, go, wait, who's driving the car? Me. So the car is my vehicle. So the car doesn't drive me, I drive the car. And that alone for a lot of people is just like, wow, light bulb turn on. And you look at your life, the times when you're self-conscious, not in what the psychology says, oh, he's too self-conscious about how he looks. No, when I say self, the self that move the body, that create the thoughts and create emotions, when you get to that point, suddenly you feel free. That's why you remember many authors, one of them is Tony Robbins, would say, pain happens, but suffering is a choice. Because you cannot control what people do. But you can control one thing, how you respond to them. If somebody screams and yells at you, you can choose to scream and yell back, you can ignore them, or you can change your thoughts, your emotions in a way that you show compassion. All these are within the I. You want to be successful in business, you want to make more money. So you think, what are the way to do it? What do I do to change my physiology? What kind of thoughts and emotions should I create? Who am I talking to convince me to give me that big contract? What are the thoughts and emotions I create before I meet the person, when I'm with them? And here's the part that I think, Jasmine, you're referring to earlier, afterwards. So I taught you how to erase and disintegrate something. How do you deal with the past? What you do is you sit down once a day, take 10, 15 minutes, you go, and be completely honest with yourself. Because if you lie to yourself, you're screwed. Okay? You ask yourself, okay, what are the limiting beliefs I have? Think about it. Why did that not work? And don't give excuses like their fault. What did I contribute? As soon as it comes out in your consciousness, imagine it's a gray cloud, disintegrate it. And you'll notice at some point, it's like some of you were saying earlier, how come it's blank? How come it's quiet? Because if it's blank and quiet, that means at that particular time, the past, at least connected to that subject, is empty. Now that it's empty, it's just like, I want to drink something I want. You empty this cup, then you pour the drink that you want. So after you disintegrate all these thoughts and emotions, and it has to be done systematically, then you go, okay, what do I want? I want a better relationship. Then you start sitting there and go, all right, what is the kind of person, what are the qualities I want the person to be my partner, for example? Or how much money do I want to make? What kind of goals do I have? You'll notice that you can think clear, see clear, and be more certain because you don't have any stuff pulling you down. The mistake most people make, they just focus here and they know, yeah, when I'm goal setting, I want it, but you don't realize this happened to me before. Those are thoughts. Those are emotions we created. If you get rid of it, it's silent, then you're full speed ahead. So it's a continuous thing. Keep getting rid of the stuff we create. If something pops up now, disintegrate it, and then you keep making the positive thoughts and emotions that mold your future get stronger and stronger. And here's the most important thing. If you do this systematically, what will happen? What was subconsciously pulling you back? Now you have something subconsciously pushing you forward. It's just like you disintegrate the old programming, you create the new programming, install it in yourself. So you start noticing that, hey, how come I'm moving towards that success without trying? Because now you're the captain of your ship. I hope that gives you an overview. I know I talk so fast, but I hope you got it.
It was perfect. Honestly, it was so incredible. And the most important thing is integrating this in your life. If you're watching this right now, imagine what it would be like using all the strategies that Master Code just shared with us in our real life. Imagine how your life would change only 7 days, 14 days, 30 days from now. Because sometimes it feels so unachievable that we don't even try. So if you want to move forward and practice these things, don't beat yourself up when you don't practice, but focus on getting back to it and trying your best. Because Master Co really has helped thousands of people already, and what he teaches actually really works. I use it in my daily life, and I just love spending time with him because every time I learn something new. Maybe you've listened to this 1,000 times or hundreds of times or even just twice. But the most expensive words that you can have in your life are, I know this already. If you know this already, then why are you not doing it? Because if you knew the power of this, we would all be sitting 10, 15 minutes. Even if you're sitting on the toilet, you have time to think about this, to disintegrate all the stuff that is stopping you. We all have the time. My mom always said that, right? If somebody wants to do something, they always have the time, even if they're sitting on the toilet. And it's so true, because if people want to do something, they will. So remember the importance of the work that Master Co is sharing with us today. And, maybe you've heard it from other teachers or speakers or healers or whatever. And in the end, the message is the same. That you are in control of your reality, your thoughts, and you can choose how things will work out in your favor or will keep going against you. And even if you are in a situation where you feel like you're stuck, it is your choice, because now you have an opportunity, you have an opening in your life where you get to either step in and make a choice, or you get to stay stuck. Because my intention today was to help and bring somebody such incredible on to help people worldwide on his network, my network, whoever watches this, where this gets spread, to actually know that there's hope. Even if it just gave you a little bit, an ounce of hope, that is the beginning of something that you can start to control and start to control and start to control. So don't take this lightly, because you can create whatever it is that you desire. There's so many stories of people that have turned it around, They're no different than you. They're no more special than you. They're just as unique as you are, because that is your true superpower. The more you embrace who you truly are, the more success you will have. Whenever I work with my clients, the one thing that they tell me, and I've got clients between 10K a month, 100K a month clients, and the one thing they have in common is they stop forcing a business model that doesn't work for them, and they start using the strategies that we teach in their own way so that they can build a business around who they already are. Because if you're trying to force yourself and being somebody who you are not truly, your heart will not be able to follow through there. And now you have the tools from Master Ko to actually start that opening, because maybe you didn't even believe it was possible for you too. But let me tell you, it is possible for you too. It truly, truly is. And I'm so grateful for this. I don't know if we want to add something else, or if we want to do a meditation. It's absolutely up to you, but you've given us so much already, so it's just...
Thank you, Jasmine. Well, if there's anything I could share, because the limited amount of time we're together,
Yes.
It's something like this. You can study 1,000 books. You can attend 1,000 seminars, have the best coaches in the world. You have to remember two things. One, all those ideas are happening in the energy world. The energy world vibrates at a certain frequency, if you will. Your physical world vibrates at a certain frequency. So in our classes, we don't call it manifestation. We call it materialization. Because manifestation, you can manifest a good attitude, a bad attitude. Materialization is so direct. It's just like every time you think of something, it vibrates here. That's why people don't see what you're thinking. Then it moves down in frequency. When you feel it, people can sense it. And then when you think of something long enough, you feel it, then you start noticing, you move towards it. It's just like a very simple example. You think, oh, I like that nice new Porsche or whatever car you want. So you're just thinking about it. Okay. You notice that frequency. Then you think about it more. Think about it more. What's happening is that energy, the more you think about it, it gets stronger and stronger. Just like you visualize an apple, you set it, then it becomes more concrete. So at some point, that thought becomes stronger. Then it starts to move down in frequency. Instead of just a thought, you go, I would feel really good when people see me in that car. So it's now moving down frequency. Instead of just an idea, you're now feeling it. And the more you think about it, the more you feel it, it gets stronger. Now it's going from a thought to something you're a little more passionate about. Okay? Then you start noticing you're looking at websites, you're watching videos. So if you have somebody observe it who understands energy, it starts from something so ethereal, so intangible, then you're feeling it, then you'll be moving your fingers. Then before you know it, you go, I get off work at this time, let me go to the dealership and do a test drive. I'm not going to buy it, I'm just going to test drive it. What you don't realize is you are now moving that idea from the intangible world closer and closer to material world. That's what you call materialization. Since we understand this process, guess what? We can now do it consciously. Most people do this subconsciously for good thoughts and terrible thoughts. Make sense? So you understand it. You want to catch it. Like the Lord Buddha always says, everything starts with your mind. So what we did earlier is if you have a negative thought, you don't like someone, you want to beat them up, that's just a thought. You disintegrate right away so it doesn't move down in frequency. The ones you want, you think about it, then instead of waiting for you to think about it and feel it, feel passionate about it, so you're forcing it down into the lower world, and you go, this is what I want. You start noticing that, hey, how come it's now pulling in that right direction? You're using the laws of materialization in your favor, while most people use the law of materialization subconsciously to ruin their life. It's all about consciousness. So as you do this over and over again, you start noticing, oh, I can do this. To make it a little easier as a metaphor, just imagine materialization is like taking water vapor, turning it into an ice cube. That's what you're doing. And whatever you see in the physical world right now started in that frequency. So once you understand this concept, you basically take an inventory of your life. Okay, let me look at my finances. What are the negative thoughts that were implanted by other people that I grew up with? I went to church, the holy guy went to heaven, is poor, and the rich guy is barbecuing in hell. Okay, let's get to that thought. I noticed that I have friends who have divorces and the relationships were terrible. What's it got to do with me? Disintegrate that. Okay, I know people who are lazy, they don't want to do anything. Okay, these are the friends I don't want to be around. Okay, disintegrate that thought. In other words, you take an inventory, think of things that drag you down. These are the negative thoughts that are floating in your energy field. You disintegrate all of them and go, okay, let's start with a clean slate. Okay, how much money do I want to make? And then you picture it, you feel it, you do all the materialization, whatever you've learned from Jasmine and whatever you've read, you focus there. Okay, how about my relationship? Because if you don't do it that way, you don't do it systematically, guess what? It's just another seminar you took. It's just another live that you watch. And before you know it, there's something else that's shiny. Oh, you get drawn to it. And then 10 years go by, you're still staying where you are. So to summarize it for you, and I don't mean to be so direct and harsh, but who has time to waste with useless things, right? It's as simple as this. You ask the following questions. What? What do you want? Number 2, why? Why do you want it? Number 3, how? And here's the critical one, which is the one that most people miss. When? In other words, what is like, what do I really want? And you can't get there until you clean your slate and say, okay, that's not what I want. These are people's opinions. This is what I want. And then the next thing, Jasmine, I'm sure you've taught this 1,000 times, you have to create a compelling reason. A compelling reason is what will force you to keep going even though you have obstacles in front of you. Otherwise, let's put it this way, everybody has obstacles. Now, who overcomes them is because they go, I need to do this because I have a greater goal. I want to feed a lot of hungry people. I want to do this, I want to do that. So even though I have an obstacle here, I'll make it work. Just ask the parent of a sick child. They'll do anything, everything to get the kid well, which they would not think of for other things because the why is strong enough. Or as Tony Robbins says, make your why big enough. And then from there, then you go to the how. Because otherwise, guess what? If you start with the how, you start seeing all the obstacles and you'll give up. So know what you want, why you want it, do a task management. In order to get there, these are the things I need. And then don't stop there because anybody can make plans. A lot of people who are smart, they make plans and they're still dead broke. What makes people successful is the last step. Making a schedule. A schedule requires something most people don't like. It's called a deadline. Without a deadline, there's a Chinese saying, a goal without a deadline is just a wish. You want to make something happen, to make it go from intangible to touchdown in the physical world, you need a schedule. And that's how you test people around you. They say, oh, let's meet for lunch. You know, you see them in the street, haven't seen them for a while. Yeah, with the pandemic and all that, finally opening up, let's go for lunch. You go, okay, when? Then you know they're not serious. Same thing,
yeah.
right? Or you have somebody
saying that, yeah.
Please, and you have people that say, you have someone you're dating. Oh, I love you with all my life, blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff, you go, okay, where's my ring? When am I going to get it? You know, the schedule is what will separate the doers and the wishers. If you have a schedule and sticking with it, guess what? At some point, it becomes part of you. Now, the limitation of that is this. Not a limitation, but the challenge for a lot of people is a schedule, it's stressful. Well, guess what? Stress is good if it's aimed properly. Now, I'm going to say something that most of you won't like, but try to let me finish. Always people say, oh, I want to be limitless. Being limitless is the key to failure. You know, what the heck are you talking about? You know your car, the reason your car moves forward is because the pressure is limited. That's called compression. If you have too many goals and trying to do too many things at the same time, your energy is scattered. By limiting yourself to say, okay, I want to do this first, pour 1,000,000% my attention into it, you'll be successful. That's why I'm sure, Jasmine, you already recommended. One of the books I always recommend is The One Thing.
Yeah.
Okay? And what does he say? Gary Keller says, success is sequential, not parallel. You know, when you see people juggling, they think you're doing several things at the same time. You're not. It's always one ball is caught, catching the other ball, tossing the other one. So if you want to be successful in everything, I say, from this time to this time, I'm pouring all my energy into it. This time to this time, I'll pour this energy. Now, of course, success I know you don't like to hear this, but I'll tell you anyway. You can always delete it if you don't like. Success requires prioritization. Prioritizing what you want in life and when you want it requires sacrifice. It's just the way it is. You look at anybody who's successful, they'll say, like some CEOs, they go, I'm going to set aside my family for a few years because I want to build this business. That way I can give them bigger future. Or some women, what do they say? Oh, I want my children to have a bright future, so I'm going to focus on my career for these many years, make it super well, super good, and then I'll focus on my children. And some people say, I'm going to focus on my health first. Everything requires one-pointedness. If you think you want to do everything at the same time, good luck. 20 years go by and you're still trying to balance everything, nothing happens. I know that sounds harsh, but I've had the opportunity to work with people who are broke all the way to a few billionaires. Now, if you want to know what a billionaire is, just imagine 1,000,000 times 1,000. It's like you cannot spend it all. And yet people like that, the ones who are successful, you talk to them, oh yeah, this and that. They go, yeah, let's do it. And they're right there. Okay, when? That's how they think. They want to make it something successful. It's like, okay, when? But there's no stress. They just say, oh, okay, yeah, let's call my secretary. And here's her number. Okay, give her a call. Now? Yeah, right now, let's do it. Well, you look at people who are like, oh yeah, man, I just go with the flow. Do you know that dead fish flow down with the stream? The people who are successful don't wait for things to happen and flow with it. They set a goal and they charge forward. That's the key. And now that you have the energetic component helping you out, then it makes it easier so you're not fighting against yourself. So I hope that helps. That's a long rant. I apologize, but I hope you got something out of it.
It was incredible, and it just aligns with exactly everything that I teach as well. It's like, don't tell people like, oh yeah, let me know. Ask them by when and ask them to hold them accountable, and trust yourself enough to just ask for what it is you desire, because then you will get it, right? Ask and you shall receive. If you never ask, you don't get, right? So it's very important that you don't stay a wisher, but you become a doer. So that was a really, really good analogy, actually. And you can ask yourself in this moment right now, where are you at? Are you a wisher or are you a doer? And if you are a wisher, then maybe you can start thinking about how you can become closer to a doer, because then your wishes will actually come true, right? If you have a goal, but you don't set a deadline or, an action plan, you're not going to move forward. And remember, even if you don't hit it, at least you tried, right? And the chances that you're going to get there, and this is the one thing that Pitbull taught me from his lyrics at the concerts, also at a Tony Robbins event, it was like, reach for the stars, and if you can't grab them, at least you're on top of the world. Think about it. And I never heard it, but it was like this moment in time, and everything started to make sense. It's just about the actual act of trying. Even if you don't believe in yourself right now, because maybe you haven't disintegrated enough yet, but you're on a process of moving forward, trying is better than not trying at all. Because if you don't try, the chances are zero, and they will remain zero. And love the process. Make it about enjoying the process, not only on day 30 whether you hit your 10K month or 50 or whatever your goal is. Make it about loving every single day and getting back on day 1 of the new month. It is a new month right now, Abundance August, right? 8/8 is happening very soon. So then you move forward and you try again and you try again, and then you will get there, more likely if then you don't try at all. So it's very, very true. And I love this about Master Ko, because he's a very spiritual, obviously, very incredible person and just so inspiring. But he's also realistic, and he gives you tangible action steps to actually integrate into your life and actionable steps moving forward. So I really want to make sure, if you don't follow Master Ko yet, please follow him everywhere. Join his, I think, 21-day meditation challenge. I saw a couple of comments. Maybe you want to share something as well, or anything that you have on your heart. Please share something so the audience can take action as well.
Oh, thank you, Jasmine. There's a lot of compliments. I don't know how to take it, but okay, thank you. Just for a few of you, that might be saying, oh, that's wonderful and great, but you don't understand my situation. I just want to share something with you that might help you out. Some of you might say, oh, that's great and wonderful, but you don't understand. I've been a lazy ass for the longest time. Okay, I got some advice for you because I know exactly what it's like. And I was always telling telling our students, like, growing up, my mom would always, when we go out and meet family members, my mom will point to me and says, this kid procrastinates so much, he'll just build a toilet when he's ready to go poop. I went, Mom, thanks for the confidence. And that's because before I met my teacher, I would procrastinate and just say, whatever. And, before I met my teacher, I had the Midas touch, but the reverse. Everything I touched failed. Okay. And when I met my teacher, that's when everything changed because he basically just say, and one thing that I learned, and I want to share this with you, just in case, I know you probably won't admit it, but if you want to do that, say, yeah, there's part of me that's still resisting, and you cannot expect someone to change overnight. I got a little tip for you, okay? And here's how it's done. Even if you're the laziest person in the world, even if you don't want to take action, but at least you have some level of self-esteem, this is the secret. Commit your time to people. So what I used to do is this. I go, man, I have to travel another city. Okay. So what I would do in 1 month's time, actually, I planned a year in advance when I traveled and taught classes, well, before the pandemic thingy, I would plan literally every week. I'm in this state, I'm, in the US, many states, I'm in this country. I'll commit to everyone. Then after I'm done, I look at the calendar, I'm going, I committed to all this, but I'd rather sleep at home. I'd rather be laying in the beach in Hawaii. But you know what? My identity is such that I'm not a loser. I'm not a flake. So what happens? Even though I'd rather not do anything, I pull myself and show up. And at some point, a pattern is developed. That pattern, that habit is built into your system that I commit, I show up. So even though you don't feel like it, commit to people who will say, come on, man, you said you're going to do this. And part of you, now you'll get to a point you go, yeah, I'm not a flake. I'm a good person. I get things done. So the fight of that identity will force you to show up, even though you don't feel like it. At some point, guess what happens? It becomes autopilot. And I look back in my life, the lazy ass years I had, I go, wow, I was actually doing a lot of stuff, even though I don't want to, because I committed to people, I committed to organizations. I have to show up and say the same story, 20 times a year. Even though I'm going, I've said that 20 times already. But it doesn't matter. It's a new audience. And at some point, it's built in. And you don't have to try anymore because the motor has been primed so much. Success is now part of you. It is you. It's not something you create anymore. Make sense? So I hope that helps someone because every time I give that talk of, yeah, you can do this, you're always going to have a bunch of people say, yeah, easy for you to say. You were probably this and that. I go, yeah, right. You probably wouldn't want me as a teacher many years ago because I will drag you down. But if I can start down in the dumps and take it all the way here, none of you have an excuse. Just want to say that. Now, as far as what we do, I do 6 meditations a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. We try to do 2 time zones. That's all California time. You just go to masterco.org, Instagram, Facebook. By the way, I learned this trick from this lady here, this Jasmine. When first time we did it, she did Facebook, had the phone here. I'm going, what the heck are we doing 20 things at the same time? And I go, this lady's genius. So now, no, I'm serious. I'm not trying to patronize you. That's what happened. So since then, when I started this meditation challenge type of deal, I would have Facebook, I would have YouTube, I would have Instagram. Basically, follow this lady. I learned it from her. And now we have more people meditating, doing the spiritual work. And guess how much we charge you for it? Nothing. So if you still don't show up, well, guess what? I can't help you anymore. I hope that gives you an idea.
Yes, please, everybody, make sure you follow and take action. And I appreciate that too. Thank you so much. I agree, because I think there's so many incredible women, people, men, speakers, healers, people that have a gift in the world but they don't know how to actually reach the right people. And this is also why I do what I do. It's like I see the potential in so many people, especially women. I work with women who have the gifts, but they don't know how to attract their clients, and they have this gift and they can't help. And it pains my heart to see unused potential that God, the universe, has given us to actually create and give that to others, right? And I really want to invite also any women, female coaches, supporters, healers, service-based online entrepreneurs to a free masterclass as well. I love giving gifts, as my clients are saying. Jasmine has a huge heart. Thank you, Master Co. Yes, I would also love to invite you as well. Make sure you can also message me the word masterclass. I'll send it to you. I will also love to send you masterco link.org, masterco.org. You can see him on his Instagram as well. So I'm going to send both links anyways. If you message me, I would love to send you the links. Please message me because there's more than 200 people. So if you message me the word masterclass or masterco, I will send you the link to the Attract Your Soulmate Clients and Attract More Abundance without a huge following masterclass. So you can also learn to monetize your gifts, because of course we have to keep the lights on as well in the house, and it's not, forbidden to be abundant in this life. You deserve to be successful. You deserve to earn a lot of money, and you get to help the world as well. And this is the key. The world has changed. You don't have to be a bad person. The other week I got hacked on my Instagram and it got deleted and it got blackmailed. And I know I'm a good person, so I knew I was going to get it back, and I wanted to share and spread even more because things like that happen. And I forgive this person. I'm so sorry this person felt the need to blackmail people, and I really want to make sure, please take care of your accounts. Don't open any emails if it's not actually the sender from Instagram, Facebook, PayPal, whatever. Really double check, because unfortunately there are people out there who are maybe not believing in themselves right now, who don't think they can do more with their gifts. But it doesn't have to be like that. So please help us spread the light. So follow Master Co, go to his website, go join the 21-day meditation challenge. And if you are a female service entrepreneur or looking to be one, send me the word masterclass. I would love to invite you as my guest as well for any trainings, so I can also help you raise awareness with tips and tricks so you can reach more people and do more good in this world, because together we are stronger. Together we get to rise up and help more people. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, it was so amazing. I missed you so much because I went to 16 events, and at least 8 or 10 out of them Master Co was there too, and I was like so happy to see you. God bless you and your family and all the people. Thank you so much for showing up today with me.
Oh, thank you. Say hello to your mom.
I will. I will. Oh, it's so amazing. Incredible. So just send me a message on my Instagram right now, because I'm getting, please send the link. It's not going to do good if I send it here. So I can send you my link and Master Co's link as well. Send me a private message on my Instagram, Jasmine Mancha Coaching. So I'll send you masterco.org and also the masterclass, because then I can just paste the message to you, because if I put it here, it's not going to be clickable. So just send me a private message so I can send you the links as well. I'll be in my DMs. Just give me a moment. I'll grab a cup of water and I'll get back to you. Even if you're watching the replay, I want to make sure you get all the information. And the replay of this will be up on my feed. I think it's not going to be on your feed. It's going to be my feed, right? When we download it. Yeah.
I think it's yours, yeah.
Yeah. But we will, either ways, it will be available. And I can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much, everybody. We love you so much. And I already can't wait. Hopefully another time, anytime. I can't wait.
Oh, take good care.
Thank you
God bless
so much.
everyone. Okay.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye,
Thank
Jasmine.
you so much. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.